Oh, fuck yeah!
You can't pick just one most memorable day or moment out of these 10 years, but definitely like filming with James.
Gut, ich bin natürlich schon ein James Niederberger Fan.
And then you see, I don't know, James Niederberger.
James, like Elio said.
Ich denke mal, der James war es.
James Niederberger.
Which was James.
Sagt wahrscheinlich jeder, James Niederberger.
James, obviously, who had like such a good style, you know, back in the days already, like, you know, doing stuff that nowadays could be in videos.
Yeah, that season was fun. I had that Capita board with the yellow Capita logo on. And that was a fun season on the P60 as well, because we had a lot of jumps on the P60, with a lot of rails. There was a lot of diversity on the P60.
I was always looking up to like somebody who always took me with, and at the same point he was a really good friend for me and really like brought me into that Laax connection, which was James. And yeah, he really inspired me because he just loved snowboarding and did like super fun stuff and just motivated me to do like cool stuff and to actually snowboard.
Snowboarding was just so cool at the time. It was a cool movement and I really wanted to do it. I always found motivation to snowboard somehow just because it was fun.
Let yourself go, open the cage, or we're gonna explode. Long live our bad reputation.
Immer noch einfach krass, auch heavy. Auch dort zumal ist so. Ich mag mich noch erinnern, ich habe nicht gekannt und der ist irgendwie dort alleine das Rail gelaufen und hat einfach Sachen gemacht, die für uns so, was ist das für ein Typ so. Und das hat auch verrissen, also Board Control wirklich hart so.
I would say a big inspiration is James Niederberger, who started Crabshow. Like yeah, almost from the first episode. He is one of the biggest personalities, I think, and big influence on the entire project because he's always motivated, always like trying to push the limits and always keeping it real. Like his priorities are always on snowboarding.
We just watched that frontside tail pretzel and I was like, wow, that was like 8 years ago or something. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, obviously that made me want to go snowboard with them all the time. And every free day I got in the season between, I don't know, sponsored trips or something else, I wanted to go to Laax and just ride with the homies here because it was always the most chill. And, you know, with you, Blume, it was always so fun to like just, you know, be on the mountain and just cruise and have the camera on and, you know, see what happens. And I think that's, in snowboarding, that's sometimes a really fruitful approach to snowboarding, and you can definitely see that in the videos, and you know, makes you want to go ride Laax.
Because he has his own vision, I guess. and he's doing whatever he wants to do. But he thinks about it, why he's doing it like that. But he's a really unique person and lives it.
My name is known for anything in snowboarding, then it's probably the Crabshow part. And I'm bloody proud of it, because that's the snowboarding I always wanted to highlight, and I hope everyone loves as well, because it's the funnest thing to do. There's nothing better than coming to Laax on a spring day, the park gets slushy. There's no recipe for everyone how to make your snowboarding the happiest possible. What makes you happy in snowboarding? You just have to try it. I mean, if just carving around on a crew makes you happy because that video gave you a sense of feeling that you can relate to, then that's your jam and that's good. If going out to the streets and getting that adrenaline makes you happy, then that's all good. There's a place for everything in snowboarding, and that's what I love about it. I really realized at one point that snowboarding for me is just about being happy and having fun and enjoying time with your friends, cruise and feel good strapped in. And the most times I felt good when I was strapped in was up in the mountains before dropping into a power line or just cruising in the park and having fun. I mean, some people have this strong sense of proving themselves to others or to themselves, and I guess I'm not very competitive kind of type of person. So I don't have that strong feeling, maybe because I'm not as talented as other people as well, but I just don't have that feeling. And that's when I realized I don't want to ride street anymore, because it doesn't really make me happy. And seeing, why would I want to do it if I don't even want to prove it to others? I mean, I can just have the best time ever riding with you and filming with you in the park and snowboard. I mean, basically nothing changes. You're in the streets. If you live in Minnesota or if you live in Montreal or somewhere, wherever, it makes perfect sense. But if I live up in Laax and I have to buy a plane ticket for $400 to go to Helsinki to ride street, whereas I could snowboard here for free, just didn't make sense for me at one point. I was like, that's not what I love about snowboarding.
James is super friendly and he's super open-minded. He's not like being a cool boy or like he's just open-minded, like friendly. He shreds bow, he shreds slopes, he shreds park, and he does it always with a smile and like a good style, and you see him always on the mountain, and he's not gonna only shred hard when there's a camera on his board, I will say. He's also just shredding hard when he's just cruising, and that makes it so cool because he doesn't mind if there's a camera on him or not.
I just wanted to be happy and snowboard, and snowboarding in the park, snowboarding in Pau, riding with you guys, riding with all my friends back here. That's the happiest I've ever been snowboarding.
Auto kapot.
I can hardly remember a time where I would come up to you and tell you, hey, let's go filming. It was probably, you were like, most of the time we were like, look at each other and we're like, hey, should we go film? Like, yeah, maybe. And we would go film, or we would be like, hey, let's go cruise for an hour or two, and you'd be like, hey, let's film these 2 tricks you did there. And like, okay, let's do that. And then we would do that. It was just really fun. Just grab the camera, you would roll behind me with that huge fisheye and just, yeah, it's fun. Really good.
So it was like, I don't know, it's really hard to say why, but maybe because he's a good friend and the connection was always pretty good between us. But he had this kind of fire, like landing tricks out of nothing, and like you get really surprised and everybody was stoked at the end.
Nah, even if it was icy, I didn't give a shit. I never tuned my edges anyway. Like I always had the sharpest edges. All the other guys, they would like flex their boards with the flex, and I basically got my boards out of the plastic, put my bindings on, and just went shredding. And all the guys were like, "You're fucking insane. What happens if you get a hang-up?" I mean, in those days, I hardly ever had hang-ups. I did have some, but I just liked the control of my board. I didn't like the way it would swivel if I wouldn't have edges. I wanted to ride well in all conditions. If it was icy, soft, whatever, it didn't matter. But if it's soft, it doesn't matter if it has sharp or blunt edges. But if it's hard, it matters if you have soft or blunt edges. So some of these mornings were just so absolutely overwhelming and beautiful. You know, you come up, you see the sunrise, you'd be shaping, fog would come out of your mouth, and you'd be just thinking, holy shit, this is a dream come true. I'm up in the mountains, I love it. You can see so far around you, and you're with all these good people, and you had an amazing party last night.
It's not about tricks, it's all about style and how you do it. And I think it's more about when you cruise a park like Laax, it's not about trick after trick. It's about, if you want to film something cool, it's about putting tricks behind each other that fits in all this line. Like not just like 180 in, 180 out, and all the things, just it has to fit like with the flow. And then it looks cool. And that's why James always looked so cool in the Crabshow, I think.
Like in the morning, we connected, and he was on fire always, like mind-blowing actually, how he tried tricks first try, and he nailed it always.
Ich habe deine 20er-Note gefunden, Jan.
Ein Pitcher ahoy!
Oh yes.
Yeah, there was once this story, like I was sitting with Jan Stöckli on the chairlift, and he lost $20.
Or once we filmed for a Crabshow and we found some money down on the lift from Jan Stöckli that was shaping with us as well. And we kind of filmed it, how I found it, and like put it in the video and or put it into your lens, but like, haha, I got your money, Jan. Let's go and drink a pitcher down at the Indie. Like, yes.
Jan didn't know that James found the money, and James was not telling him actually. So, then the Crabshow came out, and he saw it for the first time that we found his $20, and he got pretty pissed. Like,
we didn't tell him. We obviously didn't tell him until the Crabshow went online, and then he was like, "You fucking asshole!" Obviously, I gave him the $20 back again, but with those $20 we bought beers. You remember when I did that Wally frontside to 70 to switch again on the down tube?
Wir hatten schon recht frische Tricks gehabt. Props an dich.
everything is kind of structured in our society, you know, like, and same in snowboarding. Although snowboarding is so free, I think it has become less free because people have like a strict idea, or more of a strict idea these days, of what snowboarding has to look like. Shit, there's no fucking rules how snowboarding has to look like.
Laax.
Highlight the free and freestyle.
He cannot above me, alright? And he's here, me!
Todeslinse.
Yo, you're now in the presence of greatness. Pardon my lateness. Y'all been patiently waiting, but it take time to be amazing. So fuck those who been hating and sleeping on a nigga like sedation. It's time to be awakened and realize who the fuck niggas facing.